I'd like to take this opportunity to once again, on behalf of Heartfulness Global and Heartfulness Education Trust, a warm welcome to the educators and school leaders, educators and the education department from Sikkim, the school leaders from Directorate of School Education, Daaji. Just to give you a snapshot of the representation of this group, Yogita Ranaji's team of officials have scoped a program for school leaders development called POISE, which is our signature intervention for school leaders development. We have the second spell going on here of KGBV, which is for Kasturiba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya schools. 120 are in our scope for this batch. That is, there are 120 schools identified for the first phase based on 120 locations which are constituency based on constituencies. We also have representation of 30 plus, 35 plus Telangana residential educational institutions, which is called TRICE. We have here principals from TRICE schools also, from Yogita ma'am's overall scope of school leaders who are going through this training. In the next spell coming up in September 9th to 11th, we will have 70 more school principals joining. This entire pack of KGBV principals and TRICE principals will influence close to 80,000 students. For one wonderful reason is we have Radha ma'am and Reena ma'am also master. They all are examining the Heartfulness International School model and practices. And therefore, these school principals are going through a facility tour, educational tour of the Heartfulness International Schools. And the plan is to go and find ways to implement and improve in their own schools, along with all other good things that these principals are already doing. I also want to take the opportunity to introduce Daaji to you that Sikkim has been leading from the front in the educational transformation. While you see a good batch of 80 master trainers here for 5 days, Sikkim has been leading with close to 1,080 teachers have been trained. And in this batch, we have officials seated in the front row from the education department. They are leading the group for this program approved by the state government education. Here we have graduate teachers and postgraduate teachers, and this team of Sikkim educators are taking a master course from here and going to implement back in Sikkim. Our team of educators from Sangeeta ji, Nirmala ji, Madhavi ji, they're all helping in scaling up this program. And they will implement values education, life skills, teacher development program on their own, guided by half our team. With this backdrop, Daji, would you like the idea of having some interaction with you, some questions, or if you would like to say anything, it's totally up to you. Yes.
It is best that you ask questions to me, and then during that session, I'll be able to put forth my ideas and we'll view the whole philosophy of pedagogy going forward. But I'm very grateful that you all are here. You are always welcome at Kanha. You can come back here time and again with your families, and we will extend our hospitality. So you can go ahead and few of you can ask questions, and then let us see how it develops.
Thank you, Daji.
Rest of the morning.
Thank you, Mas. We have The Sikkim team was prepared for this. If you permit, there are two teachers who are going to join us for this fireside chat.
Oh, wow.
May I
Good,
request,
good, okay.
may I request Manisha and Hemant to please come over, and similarly, Sister Ma'am and that KGBB teacher, please come. They represent the whole crowd, though they are from two states, but they represent education. So we request Manisha ji,
Namaste ji.
please come. You can introduce yourself and you can post the questions, and then later we'll take up any questions from the crowd also. Please.
Better.
You can introduce yourself and post your question, please.
Namaskar, Daaji.
Namaskaram.
I'm Suhasini from TGRS and JC Boys Tupran, representing TREI Society here.
Welcome.
Thank you, Daaji.
Namaste, Daaji.
Namaste.
I'm very happy to be here. My name is Srilata, KGBV Special Officer, Manchal, Rangareddy District.
Thank you.
I'm Hemant Kumar Chetri, representing Sikkim. I'm from Kitam Senior Secondary School.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
My name is Manisha Sharma. I'm from PM Sri Lingmu Senior Secondary School, and I'm from Sikkim, representing Sikkim.
Welcome.
We'll start with the first question from TRES school. Please ask your first question. You can sit
Namaskar, Daaji.
Namaskar.
In
Suhasini.
training held in the Spell 1 and Spell 2, our program officers, Ramakrishna sir and Mrs. Sangeeta madam, helped us to understand what actually intuition is, and helped us to know how the students of Heartfulness International School excelled in this tool. Daaji, is it possible for every child to have the technique, and how it is going to bring a vibrant changes in the coming generation and of course present?
Thank you. In the field of education, and what's most important for all of us, whether you are a teacher or a student, teacher to me is a person who is always learning new things, more than teaching, absorbing more and more. Let me also put something. What drives a student towards education success? Only two things: interest and ability to observe. And both are interconnected. How can you have, rather, how would you observe things unless you are interested? Let me give an example. Suppose if you find in this whole ashram, and if I tell you, I'll give you 1 lakh rupee for every blue rose you find in this ashram. So you are now interested in getting that money in the prize. Your ability to observe will simply skyrocket. Let's go around everywhere, not just on our walkways or pathways. You will go and venture also into riskiest of places, never minding even snakes around, and say, let me find that blue rose. The price tag is 1 lakh. So we have to make children interested in education. That will propel them. Once they get interested into it, your role is practically over. They will bother you, teach me this, teach me that, teach me this, teach me that. See, I give you another example. It's a real life story. Sometime in 2012, a young boy of hardly 9 years came to me. He did not come on his own, but his mother fetched him from Noida. Mother's complaint was he is already on drugs, many girlfriends, 9th grader. See? and he's losing interest in education. I say, I don't know what to do. But then I called him inside, and just like that, I asked him a question. What do you like to do in your life? He says, I'd like to be a very rich man. I said, what would you do with all that wealth? First of all, I would like to buy a Porsche, a sports car with so many horsepowers. Okay. I said, what is the budget? She said, 3 crores or something. Can your parents afford it? Maybe. I said, what is their salary? So he added up something like 1.2 lakhs a month. I said, now, even if they give 100% of their monthly salary to you, how many years will it take you to pay Porsche? Of course, if you don't study, you can still have Porsche, but you'll be driving somebody else's Porsche. You'll become a driver, but you won't own it. So sometimes we have to give both. We have to use both the instruments of giving carrots and threatening them also what will be the outcome if they don't get educated properly. Another weapon I use is that who will marry you unless you are educated? You want a beautiful girl who can fall in love with you. Duffers like you, who will marry? So these two things really touches their heart. When it comes to intuition, we have a program called Brighter Mind. You should deploy that program right across all the schools. We had been charging 12,000 rupees per student, but now I have resolved not to charge even 1 rupee for this program. What you can do is send your teachers, or some of you can get the training here. It takes a day or two to get going with this Brighter Mind program. I don't know if you familiar with Brighter Mind programs? Some of you are not. Huh? Miss Sharma, no? Okay. And that really propels their awareness to a higher level of intuition. Second thing I'd like you to incorporate is relaxation. Every morning, most schools in India have prayer classes, prayer sessions. Most people don't know what they are even uttering. They recite slokas, but they remain undigested without understanding the meaning of the sloka or the prayer, the significance of it. They can learn all that, but most important to me is while they recite sloka, you share with them what it really means. So that will also help you understand what it all means. Relaxation in every class should be made mandatory just before you start your classes. Once the first period, as we call it, they should relax for it takes only 5 minutes. And before they leave the school, the relaxation. And after having relaxed, let them reflect upon what they have learned during the daytime. So they will be able to revisit. Also tell them tomorrow, each period, at the end of it, or just towards the end of it, he mentioned to children, tomorrow we're going to learn, or next time we meet again, because each subject is different on different days. So next time we meet, I'll be taking up the same chapter or the next chapter. Come prepared. So if they come prepared, they'll be able to absorb it even more. So these are few tips which are not very extraordinary, but they are game changers. Thank you, Suhasini.
Namaste, Daaji.
Namaste.
Would an extension of meditation time allow for more effective problem solving or creative options? Could you explain, sir?
Meditation to me works at a many level. Let me ask questions to all of you. What is meditation to you? Because you have to understand what meditation is all about. Let's start with you. What do you understand by meditation? Being peaceful. Yes, Suhasini?
Calm and stable to understand and perceive things better.
Aapka sir?
Being collected.
Meditation is to make ourselves calm and composed, and to be in the present moment, like mindful toward the present moment.
All of you are wrong. Think what was wrong in such statements with such answers. What you have described is the result of meditation. Being calm, being composed, being peaceful. It's an outcome. But what is meditation? In English dictionary, you'll find the meaning to focus your mind on one object. That is also wrong. Because in India, in our Eastern tradition, meditation is to realize the ultimate, to realize divinity. Divinity is not an object, it's a subject. Moreover, it is unknown. So, how can you focus on what is unknown to us? But when we refer to this word in Sanskrit, dhyan, then you can have some little understanding of what dhyan is. Dhyan, if you break the sandhi, it is di plus yan. And di has a very special meaning. How many of you know Gayatri Mantra? Just raise your hands. Almost everyone knows Gayatri Mantra. Now I'll ask, what do you mean by Gayatri Mantra? Do you understand the meaning of it? See, some knowledge which is fed into us, like feeding food, we take food. What happens if it is undigested? You get diarrhea, you get bloating, you get vomiting. Undigested knowledge also becomes a burden to you. You think you are reciting mantra, you are reciting out of compulsion, not out of love. You are doing it out of habit. It has become an addiction. when you recite this mantra, the word or these letters, di comes twice. Dhimahi dhiyo yo naha prachodaya. The di here means the ultimate wisdom. And yan means a vehicle. So now you understand what dhyan means. A vehicle that transports you to attain the ultimate wisdom. It's very simple. When you understand Sanskrit, then you can understand everything. All slokas will just open up and you'll be able to make sense of it. Now, when you say it's a vehicle or a process to tap into that ultimate wisdom, any vehicle or a process needs some energy input. Otherwise, no vehicle will start with external energy input. You understand that much. Now, what we are transporting our understanding from where we are to where we should be. So, what is the energy input there? It has to be something more subtle than the consciousness itself. Let me put it differently. How many of you know Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? Raise your hand. It's a tough exam for you today. Eh? The people who have studied physics, atomic science would know just like that. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle suggests that electron that moves around the nucleus, you can measure the speed of it, but you will not be able to figure out its location. And if you figure out the location, you will not be able to figure out the speed. So that's why it remains uncertain. The speed and the position, it remains unpredictable. That's why it's called uncertainty principle in physics. But why? So when you ponder over it, the beam that they use to measure the speed of the electron is heavier and denser and grosser than the electron itself. So the moment the beam is given, it moves. It changes its location and also the speed because something is pushing it. So, if you had something even more refined than electron that will not have an impact of changing its position or the speed, then you can measure it. So, likewise, to transport my consciousness, I need something that is even more refined than consciousness itself. Then only you will be able to transport it from where you are to where it should be. And this is mentioned in Kenopanishad, number 2 or number 3 sloka. You can refer to it. You can make a note, Kenopanishad, number 2 sloka, where the sage talks about, is it we all need nourishment at a physical level. Likewise, we need nourishment at a mental level. Sage questions, what shall feed my soul? What can feed my life? Then himself answers, it is pranasya prana. So it is this pranasya prana that propels, like an energy. input. So when you find a master of caliber or a guide of caliber who has the ability to transmit this pranahuti into your heart, can transport your consciousness from where you are to where it should be. It's a slow progression, but one who is committed, like the child who is really interested and begin to observe such internal changes day after day. So the practice, regular, dedicated, without fail, only then you can succeed, otherwise it will elude you, see. So that is meditation, means dhyan. You may know the process that, oh, I close my eyes and think of the presence of the divine in my heart. I'm assuming, like in mathematics, we assume this plus this is not this, or this plus this is this. Then either you prove it or disprove it, right? Like that. We begin with this assumption that that presence is already there in my heart and wait for something to happen inside, for that divinity to become apparent to us, palpable to us. I have seen some mistakes. I'm elaborating it more for better understanding. People think that if I imagine some statue, murti, or some images of gods and goddesses, they would think that, oh, I've been meditating on divinity. But who created those images and murtis? It's not real. We may worship them with a lot of faith. There is nothing wrong about it. Let me put it differently. How many could understand the divinity of Lord Jesus Christ during his lifetime? How many could understand the divinity of Krishna? No one. So now question, logical question. If despite of his physical manifested presence, no one could understand, how are you going to grasp him with images and statues which are made by sculpturists? It cannot. If I have to think of Krishna and meditate on Lord Krishna in my heart, which image will come to you? So you understand now what I'm trying to say. So one has to remain honest with oneself and plead, my God, I don't even know if you are there or not. For certain, none of us know. We have been indoctrinated from childhood, even before birth. Our chromosomes are running haywire with these beliefs from generations onward. It is fed into us, and so we believe. Nothing wrong also, but it is borrowed knowledge. So we have to say, God, I don't know if you're there or not, but if you are there, I like to feel your presence. With this honesty, something can happen. But if you have already said, I believe in God, then there is no motivation left in you to search. Because once you believe, then it's okay, I believe, nothing more is necessary. And you stop there itself. You cannot grow spiritually. So belief is actually against you. Do I have to believe that you are in front of me? No, because I see you with my eyes. If you are not around, then I say, oh, maybe I start imagining things. And that's what is happening with us. With all these gods and goddesses business of religion, it indoctrinates, it feeds us dogmas. But when we enter spiritual realm, we begin to experience the presence. Knowledge becomes now experiential. God is no more a belief system. I begin to experience the presence. And later on, if you are lucky, the new phase in life can begin with the dissatisfaction with your own personal experiences. Why? Because even experiences have shortcomings, they lack something, they create fire in you, but makes you more and more restless. I'm telling you this from my personal experiences. Why? For that, I'll have to give you a small example. Suppose you're visiting your friend, very wealthy friend of yours, and you happen to enjoy your friend's hospitality. Okay, wow, he's such a nice person. And you spend few months with your friend, enjoy his hospitality, which is very rich hospitality. What would you be thinking at that moment for those luxurious moments? You say, oh wow, I'm having nice experiences, rich experiences. But I wish I was also as rich. See, you see the flip now. Experiencing richness, becoming rich. Experiencing divinity, becoming divine. They're two different things. And as you move further on, having become like divine, or having become divine, something will also start in you. Enough. I would like to transcend this also. You like to unload yourself from that blissful state and be nothing. So meditation has a very serious implications. So we have to understand what it is all about, what will hold you back, and what can propel you. It was with the grace of our Adi Guru Sri Ramchandra Ji that he was able to tap into this pranahuti and make it available to all sincere seekers of spirituality, and which you experience. It's not a hearsay. So I always insist, please don't assume and come with faith. In fact, create as many doubts as possible and then meditate. Don't try to mask your doubts. Solve them. Expose them in your own heart. and see how divinity speaks to you then, see, in silence.
Daji, as educators, what should be our vision for our students? And how will heartfulness guide us to achieve this vision? Thank you.
Well, if you say heartfulness, how it can help, then you yourself will have to become a full-fledged practitioner of heartfulness. If you want to deploy something, you'll have to understand that something very well before you can deploy it. So you'll have to understand the in and out of this heartfulness, understand its philosophy, and then use it as needed on students. Give an example. Some children have certain habits, and you would like to see that they get rid of this habit without lecturing, without doing anything at a physical level. Heartfulness can teach you all that, how to mend the habits of that child without becoming too vocal and making that person feel guilty. So we don't have to highlight the guilt in children. They already know they have done right wrong. So don't highlight it. Divert them to what they can do. Positive suggestions. Instead of saying not doing this, say let's do this. Second thing, as we are speaking, I get an idea that the children we like while we are taking classes. We appreciate those children who are so focused and asks you relevant questions. That keeps you interest also in teaching them, see. Without that focused mind of a child, you also become quite discouraged to conduct such classes. You come to life when children themselves are so enthusiastic in learning things. Now, in order to bring that level of enthusiasm in our children, we have to also become more enthusiastic than them. See. Generally, what happens, teachers, year after year, it's the same subject, same chapter. So they vomit it out. They don't even prepare a day before. Now, with the new advancements which is happening, almost every few weeks, new changes are coming. But our books are same old books which were there 10 years back. Who knows, in some states, belongs to 1940s perhaps. So you can see the chapter, okay, it is on particular topic. But then a teacher, a responsible teacher would do the search on web and find the modern contexts and make it more flavorful, more interesting for children. See? That's why I said before you terminate your class, tell them next time we will be touching this chapter. And you teach them how to prepare for that next chapter, how to browse on website to get something more than what chapter talks about. So there are many ways, and as we meditate more and more, you will get the idea of what to do next. Heartfulness also teaches how to clean our inner complexities so that things become even clearer to us. So I would rather, I would insist that more than meditation, this cleaning is more important. And once you learn this cleaning and do it while you are here, you'll be able to see that amazement in your consciousness that changes right after just 20 minutes of cleaning. Third thing I like to show, besides this relaxation and brighter mind, third thing is polarity. Small batches of teachers can come along with children. Some of you can try while you are here what this polarity is all about. It's, I rather not talk about it. You go through the experience of this undergoing polarity. So I would request Amak to select few enthusiastic teachers.
We have it in the schedule, Master.
You have it in the schedule. Oh, good. Okay. So when you go back, you can teach your children or bring them here. So bring them in batches or teach them there, whichever is convenient. And when this polarity and relaxation is deployed at home, even parents will come back and thank you for that. See, you'll have so much of satisfaction for teaching such things, and that will also create more interest in children, in parents, and in yourself, because you are able to see the outcome, immediate outcome. See. Thank you, bye.
Thank you, sir. So my question is, for a child who has not evolved mentally, or let's say like he has not developed his brain as compared to the child of his same age. So is this brighter mind, this term, does help those kind of specials?
Well, you can only try and see what happens, because there are many levels of mental disabilities. Relaxation has helped those who can understand the commands, they can do better. But there are some children, they don't even know what to do when someone says, I'm sorry, I can only try. You can try relaxation and see if that helps. And there are so many other methodologies, mudra therapies, based on the case. If you can write the description of the disability, age, etc., I will put you in touch with one person who teaches mudra. You know, like this or like this, or like, they're just playing with your fingers. You meditate. I mean, for little children, we just say, okay, just sit like this, or sit like this. That rewires the brain. You know, one of the exercises they teach for brighter mind children, and by the way, this brighter mind cannot be taught to children over 15 years of age. Okay. Do you know why? Because something really happens around that time. Your creativity is hijacked by your procreativity. Your hormones hijacks that part of the brain and hardwires it for the future. the creativity is greatly lost. Children can do so many things until then. Afterward, it becomes more and more difficult. Brighter mind, what it really does is maintains the link between the right brain with its left brain. Coordination is greater. The nerve wirings are there between the left and the right brain. As we age, they remain disconnected. More and more nerves are lost. That connection is compromised. In neurology, they say if you don't use it, you lose it. If those nerves are not firing together, they don't remain wired together. So, firing and wiring, using and losing, or not using and losing it, see. Now, so we teach some exercises to children. For example, if I have practiced for a long time, so I can do it, but most of you will not be able to do it. See, if I order my two fingers to go up like this, it can go. It's very easy. If I say I raise these two fingers, it's easy. But when I say flip them, you try it. Raise your two fingers, this two finger, and then these two fingers like this. Now flip them fast. See, that coordination is lost. So, children, we have to teach them many exercises during this Brighter Mind program to activate this left brain, right brain connection. See? So, there will be more flexibility, not just physically, but mentally as well. See? They think faster. I think we end it with this. I'm becoming more breathless.
Thank you so much, Daaji, for this time, and
Thank you.
we look forward to see you again in the next session.
Okay.
All of you can be remaining seated, please. I request the Sikkim government officials